Hi there, Capricorn. Welcome to a love reading for September 2024. It's Sagittarius Yogini. Let's just cut the deck and do this as our centerpiece. Alrighty. The heart of the matter is the High Priestess, and this is a spiritual card. This is about tuning in to your higher self. Now, if this reading, by the way, is meant for singles as well as people who are in relationships that are not really cutting it. It's not meant for people who are having happy relationships. Let me put it that way. And the High Priestess is about tuning in. Sometimes I think if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're like, I'm not sure if I should leave or not. It might be telling you, because usually I would think that this is because you might be getting gaslighted by that person who is acting like, they're totally above board and they're innocent, that they're not doing anything. And you really feel like there's something going on. The High Priestess can be, it's almost like the Moon card where there's more to the story. There's something going on, but you have to tune into it and not just tune into the outer chatter, but what is really going on within yourself to get the full story. And also from the spiritual perspective, in terms of simply like, what is relationship supposed to be? Is it supposed to be something that is merely like, I would say with Capricorn, if you have like Venus in Capricorn, it can be almost like a business arrangement. And I'm not saying that in a disparaging way, because you might feel like, hey, what is this person, what can they do for me, what do they bring to the table? That's a phrase that is often used. And so there's a practical attitude towards relationships. But the truth is that ultimately relationships, at least to me, are supposed to be all about the spiritual union, and how and the spiritual path, like how each person affects the other positively on the spiritual path, like as um, two people, partners who are not only in this worldly union but in a spiritual union. And so it's not just like, okay, we're partners in this relationship, we're going to build a family, we're going to build a home, that's fine. But ultimately, how do we help each other's spiritual progress? If you're single, the same thing applies. Maybe you have been looking at the wrong thing and you've just been dealing with the material side of things and not like what that person brings to you from a spiritual perspective. The past position is the Justice card. This can indicate that some Capricorns are coming from, maybe like a divorce, or perhaps you're struggling with the issue of balance. The Justice card connects with Libra, and that's a fellow cardinal sign. So it might even be somebody, Libra, that you have recently met that you're interested in, or that you have been involved with. But in terms of balance, that's what relationships are all about. If it's too lopsided, if one person is putting in all the effort and the other person is not really invested in that relationship, then it's going to be problematic. So think about that if that's what you're dealing with, if that's one of the reasons that you're dissatisfied, or if you're single, if that has been a problem in the past. Maybe that's been a pattern for you and you have to nip it in the bud. You can't, because sometimes people, and I wouldn't say Capricorn is like particularly, well, I was going to say particularly like prone to do this, but in a way, I do think earth signs, while a sign like Capricorn can be very like frugal, like very economically restrictive overall, I think that earth signs, it's not that they're trying to buy someone, but they might think, they might view love as they view everything else, that you have to put money into it. And like everything else, like a house that you want to see as a good investment, you have to sink money into. So that can be problematic if you are, wining and dining someone, buying somebody gifts in the hopes of convincing them of your love. And then finding out that they're just in it for the money, that they're just, um, not willing to give of themselves. It's just kind of like a one-way street. So being able to see that the material doesn't really connect with love. It's not really, it doesn't touch love. It's a completely different vibration. Not to say that it's evil, bad, or anything like that, but we can't look at love in those terms. Just like, there's that saying, it's just as easy to fall in love with a rich man as it is a poor man. Sometimes you'll hear a woman say that rather glibly and maybe half jokingly, but really that person probably thinks that that's a very astute saying. That why should I even give the time of day to somebody? It doesn't have to be a poor person, but somebody that is not upwardly mobile. Why should I do that when I can just as easily be with somebody who has more money? Because money doesn't touch love. And sometimes people have to find out the hard way that that's the case. But, occasionally I'm sure there are Capricorn people who, I was going to say, maybe they have, you know, uh, the moon or Venus in Pisces, and they fall in love with somebody who's very troubled, maybe addicted, and they're going to be that person's savior, and they're going to support them financially because they've just fallen on hard times and all of this. There are some outlier type of Capricorn people who might be very emotionally sensitive to other people's pain and want to fix somebody or save somebody, and that's the other extreme. So, anyway, it's all about balance, like I said. The higher message is the Six of Swords. This is about choosing peace. So, it's about leaving a situation that is obviously full of turmoil. The swords can indicate conflict. And the number six is ruled by Venus, so it deals with, harmony. But sometimes people don't value harmony enough. They don't realize how destructive inharmonious relationships can actually be. And sometimes this is because you're not willing to let go. You're not willing to cut your losses if you are coupled. If you're single, I would say that this is something that you have to guard against. Um, when you meet someone, that you have to really value compatibility. Because again, if you're valuing things that are like more shallow, then you may kind of like gloss over basic incompatibility or the tendency maybe of the other person to be argumentative or, create that sort of conflict within the relationship. And then it could lead to a lot of negative feelings within yourself. And that's very important to be able to pinpoint. What crosses you is the Temperance card, and I often think the Justice card and the Temperance card are kind of similar in that, and even that Libra might have been better off as the Temperance card. Actually, this card connects with Sagittarius. So if you're with a Sagittarian, which is my sign, you might have guessed by the title of my username, but you may have an attraction to this person and they might not be good for you. And it might not be because they're bad, it just might be because you're so different that it creates a lot of conflict. But the Temperance, again, and it's funny that it is right under the High Priestess, because it's about as above, so below. And this is one of the things. Below is the material plane. Above is a spiritual plane. The High Priestess is about above. The Page of Pentacles would be more of the mundane or the worldly aspect. Both of these are part of life. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, or at least I think so. But if people are too attached to the world, they're going to cut off from the spiritual. The High Priestess may be you need to bring more of the spiritual into your daily life so that it can guide you with your choosing of relationships, or just understanding the ultimate reason for relationships. And the people that are ungrounded, they're going to be, really spiritual, but they may not see what is really good for them on a practical level. Because yes, I do believe, I'm not saying for a minute that somebody who is financially irresponsible or unstable is a good choice for a mate. So that's not what I meant when I was talking about the other things. But people tend to go from, specialize in one extreme versus the other. There's that sense of balance is usually lacking, and we need to cover all the bases. The Outcome card is the Page of Pentacles, which relates to the earth element, like you, like Virgo, and like Taurus. It could be the beginning of a relationship with somebody of any of those earth signs. Pages can be messages. Maybe you are communicating with somebody of one of those signs. Also, page is the beginning stage of something. And we do have, this could be a timing card. We have a new moon in Virgo coming up right at the beginning of September on the 2nd. And I think, if you're in the Pacific time zone, this is going to actually be on the 1st, late at night. This is going to fall in your 9th house. So it is possible that it could be something, maybe this is communicating with somebody from a different country even. You never know. So the point is that if in a love reading, Pentacles can mean something that is long lasting. So that could be a good omen for you. All right, that's what I have for you, Capricorn. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, be it love, career, uh, natal chart interpretation, transits, all of the above, check me out at rainamoonastrology.com. The information is below. Thank you for watching. Bye.